Billy Ray, a person who built a following creating Manosphere content, has now turned her back, at least in my opinion, on the Manosphere. Now she is kind of more or less, at least based off of what I've heard in this video, is an independent agent separated from the Manosphere. She still wants to help out men. So she's still following her principles. It's just that that entire echo chamber, it seems that she's finally out of it, and that's great for her, man. And I want to show you guys some of her critiques, because I believe that a lot of what she said, a lot of the critiques that she has for the Manosphere are absolutely correct. So if you guys don't know who she is, she used to create shorts on YouTube, still does, I believe, helping men, kind of reinforcing the ideas of what the dating scene is, you know, kind of like women are this, women are that, or men are this. I'll show you guys some of her shorts.
If this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy are all bad role models for men, can you tell me who the good ones are? Why is it that every time someone tries to step up to the plate to lead men, they're immediately labeled misogynists?
This is another one.
So a couple of weeks ago, a guy approached me. Of course I did what all girls do. Assumed he was a sexually charged pig, screamed, "I have a boyfriend," before he could even get a word out, rolled my eyes, threatened to call the cops, and immediately relocated to a different spot in the coffee shop just so I could post a TikTok about it. Kidding.
Yeah, so you could tell that she cares about what she's talking about, you know? Except she had this added layer of like somewhat of like a pick-me misogynistic type of approach. Obviously because the Manosphere helped influence that philosophy of hers. But now I want you guys to listen to what she has to say about the Manosphere, because I believe it's absolutely important and crucial. Although now it seems like the Manosphere has more or less kind of like taken a different type of shape. But it still seems like a lot of people are still reeling in from the damage that was caused about a year ago from all of the Manosphere leaders who thought that it was a good idea to like tell all these men like this bullshit, or sell them on this bullshit so they can improve their lives. And just to let you guys know, you guys already know that I'm going to chop up the important moments that I have an opinion on. And if you guys want to watch the entire video, I'll link it down below. So let's get started.
My vocabulary consisted of 15-second rage bait and overused Manosphere talking points. That's it. At one point, I caught myself thinking, the world can't actually be this bad. Dating can't be this bad. Women can't be this bad. Podcasts that said they were helping men were really just making them more bitter. No real solutions, just endless doom and anger. And I started wondering, had I done the same? And that was a hard pill to swallow. I've always wanted to help men, but I might have just been feeding the same empty void, filling a hole with hot takes and quick dopamine, not actual clarity or growth. So
yep. And that's the thing. Listen, I know that you, and this is the problem with a lot of creators, you know, I don't know if she's realized this, but when you start to use a very loaded language, sure, it resonates with like a very small percentage of these viewers who are exactly that, you know, misogynistic, they hate women, all sorts of stuff like that. What happens is that your average viewers, because they're surrounded by these people tend to be the loudest voices in your comment section. So what happens is that an average viewer will read one of those comments and then like that post or that comment because it sounds like it makes a lot of sense, you know. But the reality is that it's not exactly nuanced. It's actually very loaded. It's a very loaded comment with a lot of hate and misogynistic tendencies. That's why in my videos, you will never catch me say anything like, you know, women are the problems, or women have to hold accountable, or they never hold themselves accountable, because the reality is that both men and women don't hold each other accountable and themselves accountable, you know. So I try to be very precise with my language, which I know that a lot of folks don't like. I've gotten a lot of people tell me like, why are you so soft on women? Even when I critique certain content creators too, like Hassan or that one guy, what's his name, Ben Azuli, like, why are you soft on this guy? Like, do you work for him? Are you trying to be like some sort of PR agent for him? Like, I'm like, no, dude, it's just that I'm not about to sit here and feed you exactly what you want to hear.
I pulled way back. I started reading, which if you know me, you know I hate reading. I picked up The Anxious Generation, which was actually recommended to me by an ex-follower, and everything started to make sense. Why we're so angry, why we're so addicted to negativity, and why platforms are built to push negativity. Why so many people are walking around emotionally fried and unable to communicate. I started...
Real quick, it is somewhat the algorithm, but actually it is the algorithm, but it's people as well who want to click on those videos, you know, because the algorithm could see, look right here. why don't men approach me? You know, like that is a really seductive title, right? It makes me want to click on it. But the reality is that I'm going to talk about this video as well, because unfortunately, these women here, or that woman there in the middle, she's playing you guys. Absolutely, she's playing you guys. But they're going to title this, and then people are going to walk away with the idea that these men aren't approaching women anymore. But the reality is that these women right here that you see there, those women are actually really good looking, and most likely those women are getting they're getting approached. But the majority of other women, like the average Joes, women who have self-esteem issues, who are shy to talk to men, who have weight problems, those women aren't getting approached. These women absolutely are. Guaranteed they are. At least not guaranteed, but like at least there's a high probability that they are, because they have everything. They have everything that a man wants, or at least find appealing. So how is it that these women aren't getting approached? Which you'll see when I get to that video.
I've gotten so many comments over the years telling me I shouldn't speak on relationships because he'll never marry you. I read one of those yesterday while wearing my ring. And in a way, it was poetic because it just proved what I've been trying to say. You don't know someone's real life, especially online. You may think you do, but you don't. We treat influencers like gods the second they go viral. Like their life is the standard for what's right and what's wrong. When in reality, it's just content.
Yep, that's the thing, man. That's why I always tell you guys, stop labeling these guys, because as soon as you label them, all of a sudden you guys have this archetype of who this person is. That look at this. Like this guy right here, he commented on the King Azule video, and again, like when I posted this video, I didn't know if that was actually him on the court document. So I was taking precaution, but then there was people here that were telling me that I'm taking it too easy on him. Like this person, Yo Vato, are you friends with this puto known as King Azule? Or did he pay you to make this clip? You're defending this puto like he's blood. What's wrong with you, Vato? It's like, I'm not defending this guy. I'm just trying to take my time and not just get ahead of myself. I want to understand the situation. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know every detail of his life. I want to take precaution.
And on the subject of those influencer trad wives, I've been to the events. I've seen it. I've watched trad wives give purity speeches in the afternoon and then hook up with a random guy she just met that same night. It's all curated. It's all content. But we still internalize it like it's the truth. We compare ourselves to it, judge others by it, and measure our own relationships by it.
Yeah, but people do that because they want to believe in something. They want their lives in a way to improve. That's why some of them look to us for some answers. That's why I don't expect you guys to find me for answers. I don't. But I do at least want to improve your lives in some way. So I will provide nuanced perspectives, even though I know it's going to piss you guys off. I have to do that because you guys are in a way are kind of looking for us to provide some sort of thought, because you guys are busy. You guys got to go to work. You guys got to tend to your family. You guys got to do whatever you guys have to do, your hobbies as well. So someone like myself who has the time to analyze these perspectives and opinions, I should be able to break them down and then provide a nuanced perspective for you guys to walk away with. That way you guys don't have to do the thinking. I could do that for you guys since I have time to do that.
Some of you might remember Dan had a bit of an online presence for a while, but unlike me, he figured it out very early. He saw where it was all headed, the outrage bait, the echo chambers, the way people start performing instead of actually growing. So he stepped away. And instead of trying to change the internet, he decided to talk to those who were actually listening. He created a private brotherhood that meets once a week. Real conversations, real accountability, no comment section, no clout, no algorithm. And I've watched him make more impact in those quiet, consistent circles than most creators ever do with 1 million views. That shifted something in me. It reminded me that helping people isn't always loud. Sometimes the most meaningful work comes when no one's watching. And now I finally feel ready to do both. There was this.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man. I think we watched enough. If you guys go to these channels like the Poor Man's Podcast, if you go to these channels, like they all talk about like women tries to fight man, he walks away like she doesn't exist. Like it's always just one-sided. There's never any moments where or any actual nuance as to why this is occurring. You know, another podcast is this podcast, the whatever podcast. It's always in my opinion, there's never anything good that you walk away with. You have Andrew Wilson on here, and oftentimes Andrew Wilson is just shitting on the woman without even trying to understand what is it that she's trying to communicate. Because you got to remember, a lot of these women here, let me show you. A lot of these women
tend to be.
Let's see. Let me get a panel of all of these women. Well, all of the women here on the podcast, they can't communicate their ideas because they're not commentators. You know, they haven't been able to sit down and actually sit and think about what they're feeling because they never actually have the time to do this, but we do. Anyways, you guys let me know what you guys think. That's pretty much all I got for you guys. And yeah, that's it.